Gamers of all types, from those that like competitive FPS shooters to those that play MMOs, or even if you just like The Sims. One of the most important choices you have to make is what mouse do you use? With options out there from Amazon Basics that are super cheap to ones that are approaching the price of a console like the Nintendo Switch, it's really important to narrow down what your options are and make the right selection. Today we're going to look at two of the major gaming brands, Razer and Corsair, and compare the mice that I've used to let you know which brand I think you should pick and which one's worth your money. To start, a little bit of history as to which mice I have used and why that matters. So, jumping into the mice that I've owned. First is the Corsair M65 Elite FPS mouse. It's the first gaming mouse that I ever purchased, and it comes in fairly cheap. $69 I think is the price I saw right now on Corsair. You can also pick it up at Best Buy. This mouse I kind of have a long story about, so I'll try and make it short. Essentially, I bought this mouse when I built my first gaming PC in 2018. I ran into issues pretty quickly. The right click, the main click that you use, started breaking down very early on, well before the manufacturer warranty was over. So I actually ended up sending it back to Corsair via RMA and getting a replacement one. And on that second one, the scroll wheel and the right click started breaking down, and before the warranty expired on that mouse, I also sent that one back for an RMA. So this one right here is actually the third M65 Elite mouse that I've owned. Now this third one that I got hasn't broken down yet. The right click still works, no scroll wheel issues. However, I did use it for a shorter period of time than the first two, because I picked up the Corsair Dark Core RGB Pro, which I have another video on this channel reviewing that mouse. And I actually really like this mouse a lot. It's wireless. It has some really cool features like the finger rest that kind of sits on the side here for both your thumb and your pinky. It's very comfortable and easy to use, and I really enjoyed using that mouse. However, last fall when Halo Infinite came out, in the interest of picking up the whole set, I picked up the Razer DeathAdder V2 mouse, the Halo Infinite Edition, green with the 117 branded on it. To match my whole collection, I also got the keyboard and the mouse pad that goes along with it. So this was a jump for me, going from Corsair to Razer. It was the first Razer peripherals that I had picked up, and there was a few bumps in the road, but ultimately I was happy with the decision to make the switch. It did mean that I had to change software from Corsair's iCUE to Razer Chroma, and ultimately that was a rough switch. There's a lot of things within iCUE that I still really like, and it still lights all of the fans and LEDs that I have in my system back there. So I had to figure out how to operate within two different software ecosystems and how that would work. Luckily, the Razer software can actually control other utilities like iCUE or the MSI lighting software, which runs my 4090 and my PC back there. So it was a little rough. I had to do a lot of research to get things set up, but ultimately I made the switch. And at the end of the day, I'm really pleased with the DeathAdder V2 mouse. It is very lightweight. It's great for shooters, especially if you don't have a lot of space. It's easy to pick up and get repositioned. And I really enjoy using it for shooters like Valorant. To keep this video simple, I'm gonna give you the verdict right here. If I had to go buy a brand new mouse today and I was picking between these two brands, I would go with the Razer. Specifically, again, this is the DeathAdder V2. There's a ton of great options for MMOs, FPS, whatever type of games you play. Ultimately, that's my recommendation just because of the issues that I had with having to RMA my first Corsair mouse. And honestly, my second Dark Core RGB Pro had some issues. The scroll wheel just never felt like it quite worked right, but it worked, so I didn't really ever get it replaced. I don't know if it's quality control issue or if it's just selecting cheap parts or what's going on, but the mice at Corsair really struggle. And I say this as somebody that has, again, a PC filled with Corsair components back there, running fans and RAM, and I just don't think their mice are up to the same standard. There is one other major gaming brand that makes peripherals that I haven't mentioned in this video yet, and that's Logitech. Now the reason I can't include a true analysis here is because I haven't owned a Logitech gaming periphery, but I know plenty of friends that have, that speak very highly of them. So I don't think you would go wrong with selecting a Logitech product either. I can say I purchased a basic office mouse, like the M310 or M85 or something. Just a basic $30 mouse that you could pick up at Target. And I've had that mouse for over 15 years and it hasn't broken down or stopped working. So from a quality perspective, I would expect the Logitech gaming stuff to be top notch as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed checking out a little bit of my thoughts on some gaming mice today. Again, I would recommend going with a Razer product if you're in the market right now. And look out for my next video where we're going to continue to cover this Razer versus Corsair debate and talk about keyboards. As always, if you enjoy the content, please like the video down below, subscribe if you can, and leave a comment if you've owned one of these and you have a preference. Let everybody know. It's great to have a strong community and a good conversation in the comments. You might help answer somebody else's question before they even ask it.